Full port day. What up, Coop? What up, Zach? How's it going, man? Going well, almost to my buffer on my TPTP file. There you go. What day? What number is this? Did you open that yesterday? What's up, AP? What are we feeling today? I don't know, man. Dude, I think the market, we're in the middle of seeing a pretty strong correction here. I think if we break this key level down here, I think this is going to be a pretty key level. This area right here. If it breaks below that, I mean, I'm not sure what to expect. So I'm just keeping an eye on things. We're gapped up and down here a little bit. Been rejecting out of this 4-hour inversion. Got a 4-hour bearish gap above us. We got a daily gap below us, so we'll see. It's messing you up, Trill. No quarter zip today? Not today, man. Not today. Just got to go with the Lulu, the old dusty rags. You're not waiting for FOMC. We are. I mean, we're just doing what we do, going about our day. We're not necessarily sitting here on my. I don't like to get involved in big trading moves like that, man. I make enough money during normal trading hours, normal trading conditions to not feel the need to try to jump in and capitalize on those sorts of events. I got an Apex count today. Nice. What's up, Swiss? How's it going, man? Should get my buffer in 5 days by Friday and work on my funded buffer. There you go, Zach. One day at a time, man. How's it going, Dre? Have a feeling PA is going to be sideways today until NVIDIA earnings. FOMC could cause that as well. Made some USD this morning. There you go, Carlo. Advice for someone that can't pass a combine to save his life. Stop overthinking it. Nah, I would say that you need to be journaling. If you're not journaling, you need to start journaling. Figure out exactly what it is that's causing you problems. And once you've identified those issues, figure out how to work on it. I would say 9 times out of 10, it's probably you're taking too many trades. Either taking too many trades, oversizing, or revenge trading when you lose. You know, set some hard rules that you follow. I'd tell you this. Anyone that knows me knows that I have some hard rules in my life that I follow on a daily basis, and honestly, I get a little pissed off if I don't stick to those rules specifically, and I feel like that translates well over into trading. One of my rules: bed by 10 o'clock, up by 6 o'clock, working out, eating. I mean, there's certain things that just are a part of my life that are just hard rules that I have set for myself. And it's almost like, I'm not saying this in I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but it's almost autistic. And maybe I am, I don't know. I've never been diagnosed with that, but I have hard rules for myself that I stick to. And I feel like if you can have that with trading, that's when you start to find more success. Looking for a new prop for him to try out. Can you name top three? My top three would look different, I think, than other people's top three, because it depends on what you're basing it off of. I base my top three off of what can I make the most money off of. And for me, that gives me, that throws Apex in the mix, because you can have 20 funded accounts at a time with Apex, and you can just take massive payouts. Now, in terms of their rules, they're not the best. But my top three would be Apex, Take Profit Trader, and in terms of pricing, probably my funded futures right now. You talked, Zach, when you said when you get a chance, as a suggestion, you should add your bookmap. Are you talking about in terms of like a video or a video series or whatever? I appreciate that, Swiss. Love having you here, man. Let's eat today, brother, just like yesterday. There we go. Do you trade this session or wait? If I see a setup, I'll take it. If I see something I like, I take it. I really don't like, it's kind of antithetical to what a lot of people do. I don't necessarily enjoy trying to get involved with FOMC or any of these big days. People like to try to time that and then jump on in the market and try to make these big bucks. Dude, I like consistency. I like taking consistent base hits on a daily basis. I don't need to jump in on those big moves. So most likely, if I don't see something in this AM session, I'm not going to take a trade this afternoon unless it's just like, oh my gosh, that's wild. I have to take that. For the Spirit of God gave us not, let me start over. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power and love and discipline. Amen to that. Dean, what up? It's mechanical. I'm like that in parts of my life too. Yeah, exactly. How fast can you get funded on Apex? In the same day. There's no consistency rule. So if you YOLO an account and you pass it, you can pass it in one trade, really. Oh, to Discord. Yeah, I got you, Zach. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I do remember you talking about that. I do remember you talking about passing evals easily but blowing fundeds. How's that going? Now I'm 2 days away from 4K payout. There you go, man. Discipline. Lots of over trading most of the time. Yeah, Robbie, that is true. That's what gets most people. And not being satisfied with the win. I'll be completely honest with you. Yesterday, after we took that, I took that L, was down 1,200, then came back, was up 250. We got a second entry off of that. I don't know if you guys noticed off that unicorn. Where was it? It was a 5-minute that got touched into and rejected out of again. Right here. So this was the move that I took, that I ended up making my money back plus 250 bucks on all those accounts. We got a second entry here. And I saw this. And I can't tell you how badly I wanted to take it. But that would have been my third trade for the day, and that was outside of my rules, and I didn't do it. I wanted that entry so badly. And that was the bigger move too. I think this one went 200 points on NQ. Where was it? Not here, was it? It's here. No, it wasn't there. Well, it gave a second entry on NQ also. Here it is on ES. But it was like on NQ, it was like a 200-point move, and then it was like a 300-point move or something. And I just had to watch. I was sitting here doing schoolwork, and I just watched it because it was like not breaking my rules. Let's be honest, right? Had wrong bias today, which is funny because later today I started to think it definitely was acting stupid. Yeah. What's up, Jay? How's it going, man? And let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works. Hebrew 10:24. There you go, Adam. I like that. Iron sharpens iron, man. Sean, what up, man? Thought you had to wait 7 days. For Apex, no, they have no consistency. You can jump in, open an eval right now and pass it. However, in order to take a payout, there's 8-day consistency rule for payouts. So you once you activate, you have to trade. You have to reach the buffer. So if it's a 50K account, you have to reach 2,600 in profit. The total account balance has to be 52,600, and then you also have to have a consistency of 8 days, and they don't want your total, whatever your total account, whatever your total profits are at the time of requesting a payout, you can't have a day that exceeds 30% of that. So that's why I have, you probably wonder why I have my risk rules to take profit at $600 on my Apex fundeds. It's because that $600 times 8 allows me to take, times 8 days, so 600 times 8 days allows me to take a full payout every 8 days without violating the windfall rule, 30% windfall rule. Because I've had situations where I've made plenty of money and then I go to take a withdrawal and it's like, sorry, you violated the windfall rule, so you have to bring your account balance up to whatever to be able to take the payout. And I'm like, that was stupid. You should definitely get some credit for your referrals. For for what? Zach? I do get some credit for some of the firms. Coming back, break even, 11 fish green. Yeah, I can't complain about it, Zach. I was very grateful. That's why I didn't take the second trade, because after coming back and being green, I was like, how stupid would it be to take another trade and end up going down? You know, look like a real idiot if I did that. Looking lean and solid, dude. I've actually lost some weight, man. I am really lean right now, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not a good lean. But I do appreciate you saying that, making me feel good. I was actually just looking in the mirror a minute ago. I was like, dude, I got to get back on my grind. I haven't lost any strength, but I'm not looking exactly the way that I want to right now. Sean says, what are you trading right now? This is ES and NQ futures. So NASDAQ and S&P futures. Yeah, because Zach, I'm hesitant to push. My whole thing when I started doing this, and then you've been here since the beginning, so you saw that we kind of gained traction pretty quickly. My whole thing is, I've said I don't want to be one of those guys that makes his money off of affiliate codes and off of selling courses. My money, I want all my money to come from trading, from me personally. I don't want to make money off of other people. Now, the Bookmap thing, the reason I was intent on getting that code was because I wanted other people to get a discount. And right now, I'm still going back and forth with them. There's an issue with that code. They say it's active. People are having issues with it, but yeah, I'm always hesitant to be pushing affiliate codes or anything like that, because I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to make money off of it. The only reason I would push anything is to try to get you guys a discount or to help you guys out. What ICT model do you use? Claudio, I like the unicorn model, and we had a perfect unicorn model yesterday. Relatively perfect. Sold in Q at 24,716. That's a good sell. You're up pretty decently there, aren't you? Little 93-point move. I think it continues to come down. Might want to hold, but I don't know. We are tapping into these gaps here, right in the middle of this 1 hour inversion. Got the MyFunded Futures daily payout account. There you go. How are you getting that midnight line? Just drawing it by eye or using an indicator? Good question, Brian. I'm using an indicator and then I draw it. So I use this ICT kill zone and pivots indicator. And when you turn that on, it shows the session highs and lows. Also shows the midnight open right there, you can see. So I mark that out. And then once you turn that off, I like to be able to keep it clean so it stays on the chart right there. What fair value gap indicator do you use again? I use the FVG/IFVG Nephew Sam, but I think they changed the name of it in there. I think it's just like FEG plus IFVG or something, but this is the one. Nephew Sam. That's the creator of it. Cash not, I mean, here, I'll show you exactly what I like to trade, man. Exactly what I like to trade. So we had a sweep of a London low right here. London low was down here, previous London low from way long ago. I had it marked out down here. So we swept that London low right here. Strong V-shaped recovery. Created this 5-minute gap on the way up. We had a breaker as well on the 4-minute. If you look at the 4-minute, we had this breaker. I think it was cleaner on NQ. Can't remember where this was exactly. It was not at 11, I don't think. But we'll look at ES. Where do we go? Here it is. Was it here? No. Now I'm getting confused. Breaker. Okay, you get a sweep of a major level, you get a breaker formation, you get a fair value gap on the V-shaped recovery, preferably. You get a retest of that gap, and you get a clear draw on liquidity in the direction that you're targeting, and you basically to the moon. Is there important news today? Yeah, FOMC is at 2, I believe. Is it 2? Yeah, 2. Yeah, man. That's like the checklist. And then I use Bookmap. I don't know if you're familiar with Bookmap too, Cash, but this is Bookmap. So I have this on one of my monitors that I'm watching. And when I'm looking for that setup, I want to show you guys something very, I showed my brother this last night when we were talking. I want to show you this. I want to find this setup from yesterday because it was very important. Today's Wednesday. This is a very important lesson right here that I want other people to see, because I know I watched some guys on TikTok get stopped out. Did that 5-minute gap get taken here? It's right here. Why is this not showing? Okay, this was the move right here. So look, we had a London low right here. And make sure this is marked out. I'm going to put something here on the chart so I can keep an eye on this level here. All right, watch this. We had a London low at that point from from a while ago. Here it is. Here's the London low. Watch this. Sorry, this is confusing right now. Just give me a second. I'll get it squared away for you guys. Watch this. All right, so yesterday we had this London low resting right here, right? From a while ago. Had this marked out. Price came down, made this big, oh shit, sorry, I'm tripping. Still showing the book map, my bad. So we had price right, this is London low from a while ago. So we had price come down right here. I was watching at least 2 or 3 people on TikTok make this mistake. This is why bookmap is so important. This move comes down and we get this strong V-shaped, right? I mean, clearly just double bottom, price just went way up. Price comes down here, then continues higher, rejection off this level. I saw so many people get into this trade right here. Why was that a bad idea? Well, London lows right there and it hadn't been swept yet. And the book map, if you were looking at the book map was blood red right here. There was nothing below it, but it was blood red right here. I saw so many people get into this trade and then get stopped out. Boom, stopped out. Boom, stopped out. Because they didn't wait for the London low to get swept. They didn't have it marked. They weren't using bookmap. They were like, oh, here we go. Here's the reversal. We're coming back now. It's done dumping. So make sure you have these levels marked out. This one you had to go pretty far back to find. But it's important to make sure that you have those levels marked out and be using bookmap. If you see a trade set up and you're like, man, this looks juicy, and the bookmap doesn't align with the trade, you still see orders resting below or above, depending on whether you're shorting or longing, I would wait. I would wait because there's too big of a chance that it's going to say, okay, I'm not done, sweeping that liquidity down there yet. You know what I mean? So I saw so many people get stopped out yesterday because they weren't using bookmap and they weren't waiting for the sweep of this London low. They got impatient and just wanted to get into the trade. If you had just waited and you got this 5-minute inside of the breaker on the 4 minute, look at this, clean breaker here on the 4 with a 5-minute inside of it, basically inside of it right there. Retest. You had a nice retest twice, but the first time was fine. You could have taken that first one and then you open the long right here. This is what I did. I actually closed it pretty quickly because there was a 15, but that's a 200-point move. But there was a 15-minute gap right here that I can show you if it'll pop up on here. I don't know if it went away. There was a 15-minute gap in here that we had rejected out of twice before. I think it was at this level maybe. Can't remember. But that's why you use bookmap. That's why you wait for sweeps of key levels. That's why you stay patient. And if it had run away, like if this had run away without me, I'm already down. I was already down on the day. I wasn't going to sit there and FOMO into that trade. I wanted to see a clean A+ setup, and that's what we ended up getting right there. And then you got the second entry here at 12:30. And then you got like a 300-point move off of that. 311-point move off of that. Beautiful. That's short out of 15 minutes. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. That's what the move that I had been looking for. If I had stayed patient, who was it that just said that? Kyle. You remember that was, so it was right here. So we were short around here. I can't remember where. But it touched right back into this 15 up here and then dumped down. And that 600 level on ES It was the move that I had been waiting for. I wanted that 600 level. Price ended up coming down and doing that. I should have taken profit yesterday when I was up. I was up 700 or 800 bucks or something. I should have taken profit right then. Got greedy on that. But that's why Bookmap is key, man. Hey, your code is working, by the way, for Bookmap for me. Did you add Bookmap futures data or DFX futures data? I use Bookmap data. Bookmap CME data. Can you explain what a breaker basically is? Yeah. So here on the 4 minute, you have a low, a high, lower low, higher high. So that forms the breaker. It's basically, if you want to think about it this way, this is the easiest way to think about it. It's the last leg up before the sweep lower, or it's the last leg down if you're looking at it from the top. If you're looking for a breaker that's pointing in the downtrend direction, it's the last leg down before a sweep higher. So it would be this in reverse. So you see how you have low, high, lower low, higher high. What's up, Tristan? Yeah, the YouTube stream should be without delay today. I fixed that. Yeah. Hugo, what up, man? The YouTube is Christian Trades Live, all one word. Yo, yo. How old are you? 32. 33 in February. Show the 15 from yesterday's long trade. I think it got negated, so it's not even showing on the chart. Or I just have my settings on so I don't show that far back. Where was it, though? Right here. Nope, that's not it. I mean, there's one that forms right here. 15 that forms right there, inverts, and then it just gets negated again. There was a 15 in here, though, that we were rejecting off of, I think, or in this level. I can't remember exactly where it was, but that's where I got out of. If you look at the screenshot on my story, I think I had it marked. Or maybe maybe it was go look at the most recent post. I think it was the post where I had it in the post. And we were in the middle of the 15 when I took that video on the post. But we had rejected out of that 15 multiple times, so that's why I got out of the trade. I could have held, but I was up. I was up 250 on the day after being down 1,200 on each of my accounts, so I wasn't looking to be greedy. I was just happy to get out green on the day. What's the book? What's the YouTube again? It's Christian Trades Live. Yeah, fixture boo-boo. That's all that matters. Yeah, I was kicking myself about being so greedy on that trade, man. I knew better. Should have taken profit. I don't know who was in here, but I had my cursor right over the close trade button, and I didn't click it when I should have. 1 minute. 1 minute to market open here. Yo, it's Vlad. How you doing? What's up, man? How's it going? Taylor, if you search Christian Trades Live, all one word, it should pop up. Or you can go to youtube.com / Christian Trades Live. All one word. youtube.com / Christian Trades Live. No quarter zip today, boss. Second person that said that. Not today. You guys are going to make me go buy some more quarter zips. I only have like 3 of them right now. Wait until we can make some money. There you go. Patience. Do you do Forex or stocks? I don't do either. I trade futures. Here we go. We're lit up down to about the 66.2750 level here on Bookmap on ES. So it looks like we'll potentially come down here and take London and then see what happens after that. What's up, Minnie? How's it going? Seemed like I wasn't confident with that trade. I was confident in the trade, but what I wasn't confident in, I knew that it wanted to go to that 600 level. What I wasn't confident in is, or the 6,600 level. I wasn't confident that it was done retesting, going higher before it dropped all the way down. And I ended up, for good reason, I should have closed that trade. It's all good though. Good morning. What up, in the future? Why trade with FOMC? If we get a setup, we take a trade. I don't look to trade during FOMC at 2 o'clock. We're just here. I mean, I don't necessarily, just because I'm on here, Evan, doesn't necessarily mean that I'll take a trade. There's plenty of days where I get on here, and anybody in here will tell you, and probably to the much to the chagrin of some people in here, I don't take a trade. What platform do you post things when you're not live on YouTube? TikTok, mostly. But Brian, I've been trying to do better about posting more of my stuff on YouTube as well. I really am trying to focus a lot on putting out more stuff on YouTube for you guys. Right now, I haven't really put out anything that I would consider to be too valuable information-wise, but I am working on doing better about that. So stick with me. What's up, Arthur? I see you over there. For the ICT kills and pivots, how did you make it show all the previous sessions highs and lows? There's a setting where you can go where it says session drawing limit. Obviously, I have mine on 1,000. Put that on whatever you want so that it doesn't limit how many sessions back it shows you. Because obviously, right now, if we're going to continue to go down, you're going to need some pretty far back lows to be marking out. So, what's up, Taylor? How's it going? I do post shorts on YouTube, yeah. But same ones I post on TikTok. I've been trying to anything I post on TikTok, I try to put it on my Instagram and my YouTube as well. Haven't seen a trade and been watching for like 2 weeks. You missed the L yesterday, Paul. How's it going, Chris? Did I miss the verse of the day? You missed a couple of verses, but I can read another one. Be more than happy to do that. Tristan probably posted one in the Discord. I need to look in there. I think the verse of the day from the Bible app that we read earlier was, for God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Very true. Anytime, I feel like anytime you feel fear or any of those sorts of negative emotions, that doesn't come from God. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Psalms 34:14. Just posted it. Let's see what Tristan posted. Tristan's always posting some fire. Little retest of that 4-minute, 5-minute rejection, hard rejection out of it. We're lit up in both directions here on the book map. You got any tattoos, Christian? No, I do not. I'm a rebel, man. Let us therefore make every effort to do what leads to peace and to mutual edification. I like that. Romans 14:19. And if you don't know what edification means, because I'm sure some people don't, it's not a common word, the instruction or improvement of a person morally or intellectually. Edification. Getting a strong push up here. Real strong. Tapped into this 15 down here, pushed out. Took those relative equals. It's a strong push right here. You were really inspiring. Appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that. Would I read Hebrews 10:14, please? I feel like we read that literally just a second ago, but I will read that again. Hebrews 10:14, for by one sacrifice he has made perfect forever those who are being made holy. Amen. Reference to Jesus. Yeah. Earnings after hours, though, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of jockeying for position up until then. Like I said, if we don't see anything, that we're super pumped about, we're not gonna just take a random trade. Entering a short on my paper, I think we reject and head for London lows potentially, but the book map is lit up to 66.63, 66.65. So I wouldn't be surprised if we push to this London high first. Create some momentum off of these orders that we're absorbing. Off of these orders we're absorbing right now. But it could go either direction because it's lit up in both. So. What's up, Randall? How's it going, man? How was class yesterday? Not the best. Not the best, man. Totally honest with you, but it's okay. I'm still, the grades are still maintained right now. I'm still making it happen. So, it's kind of like taking an L on a trade. It's like you just keep going. Don't allow it to screw up your psychology. You just keep going. We're really lit up to the upside here, up to 66, 65 on ES. Appreciate that, Robbie. Appreciate that a lot, man. Blue 2 accounts. I'm done for the week. Come on, Reaper. Come on. Down 300 day. I got greedy and wanted more, and stuff happened. It does happen, man. At least you know what happened. At least you know what the problem was. Sounds like you overtraded, maybe. Can we get a look at the book map? Absolutely. Minnie says, what classes are you taking? Currently, I'm taking Japanese, anthropology, Roman Empire, or early Roman Empire, finance, and what's the other one? Japanese, anthropology, early Roman Empire, and finance. Those are the 4 I'm taking right now. Class of 53 checking in. Ain't no way. Oh, you're talking about 2053. There's no way. Like you're talking about 1953. Well, there's no way that you're that old. 1953. There ain't no way you're that old. Recommend us ICT, bro. I use ICT principles in conjunction with order flow from the book map. So I do think that the basic principles and tenets of ICT are helpful. What's your time zone indicator for marking out previous sessions? It's called ICT kill zones plus pivots. This is how it's labeled on my chart, but I think it's if you look at TFO, that's the creator. So whichever you search this name right here, and if it says TFO next to it, that's the one you want. How big of a confluence is book map to you? Major. Major. Class of 2020, yeah, I was gonna say, dude, you're like 100 years old if you were a class of 53. You literally would be almost, you would have to be almost 100 years old. How long did it take you to pass your first funded? I think I blew 4 or 5 of them before I passed one. Before I got my first payout, I blew countless. Blew countless fundeds before I got my first payout, though. It's different for everyone. Don't measure your progress or your success off of other people's timelines. Am I profitable now? I consistently take payouts. I don't say I'm profitable because my theory about that is my standard, as many in here have heard me say before, you need to be taking consistent payouts every payout window, in my opinion, for 9 to 12 months for you to say, yeah, I'm profitable. Profitable means you can rely on this as an income and you don't, like a main job type of deal. So for the past now 5 months, I've been taking consistent payouts virtually every day because of daily payouts with TPT and the way that my Apex accounts have been staggered. I'm pretty much requesting a sizable payout every day. Bro, you're not scared about NVIDIA? No. Not in a trade. What indicator for highs and lows? ICT, kill zone, and pivots. Appreciate that, Swiss. You in a trade? No, I'm not. You will see it on my chart if I'm in a trade. Bought an Apex to cope. Yeah, you guys take advantage of that. I mean, use whoever's code you want. You can use mine and you'll get 80% off, but they have a really good sale going on right now at Apex. 80% off all size accounts, plus the activation fee is only $40 right now. So this is literally, sometimes they run a 90% off sale, but then the activation is like $140 still. So you're not getting the great, in my opinion, the great bang for your buck. I think right now is the best bang for your buck that Apex has offered. 80% off plus $40 activation. That means for a 50K account, you're only paying $80. And you can scale up to 20 funded accounts. So that means realistically, and you're capped at 2K, on a 50K, you're capped at a 2K payout every 8 days for the first 6 payouts or 5 payouts. That means theoretically, if you have 20 accounts and you're taking a max payout every 8 days, call that 2 payouts a month. That means you're pulling 80K out of a firm in a month, easily. You only need to be hitting about $250 to $600 a day per account, $250 minimum, and you're taking a max payout every 8 days. It's wild, man. Like it's a money glitch. Which firm did I get funded with first? Top Step. Top Step was the firm I traded with for a while when I first started. Bookmaps OOP, how much does it cost? All in for the first month, you're going to look at about $100. Yeah, the referral code for Apex is CWT. Apex has been having issues. They're part of Cloudflare. It was working before the market opened, but it might be having issues again. Their servers rest with Cloudflare, and Cloudflare internationally has been having some problems over the past day. They had their servers down. I don't know if they had a cyber attack or what, but it looks like, I'm just trying to open the Apex right now. It looks like they could still be having an issue. So be patient with that. NQ swept London high. ES barely touched it. Let's see if it does a full sweep here. There's plenty of orders stacked up higher now. Can I show my trades? What do you mean by that? Like when I take one? Or previous ones that I have taken? Is my London high marked correctly? Yes, this is a yes. So yeah, it is. London high. Have a good one, Jeff. Appreciate you being here. Glad you made some money, man. If it sweeps the London high, will you short? Not necessarily. I won't blind short it. We still have orders stacked all the way up to 66.90. So all the way up to here. Do you show when you enter? Yeah, if I'm in a trade, Momo, you'll definitely see it. Win or lose, I show my trades when I'm live. ES Bookmap. Why did we not hit London lows? That was manipulation, man. Yeah, it did. It's about 100 for the first month. It's about $100 all in. You need to buy the Bookmap subscription, and then you need data. So between the two of those, it's with the discount, it's about $100 all in. Isaiah, if you go to my Discord, here, hang on one second. Make sure that these are updated. Isaiah, if you go to my Discord, in the under the indicator tab, you'll see my settings for ICT, kill zone, and pivots. 100 monthly, yep. What's up, Samir? Not yet. We have not taken any trades yet. You looking for an inversion? I'm just looking for a clear, here at this point, I'm going to see how we react inside of this 4 hour. Could get a rejection out of this. Just keep an eye on things. Nothing's really forming right now that I'm interested in. It's kind of just moving. Do you know that Tokyo doesn't do daylight saving times? I did. Yeah, that's why I had to adjust my ICT kill zone thing. The settings that I'm currently using for the ICT kill zone and pivots is in the Discord. Apex is still down. Their website won't load. Yeah, it came back online. Last night it came back online long enough where I was able to request my payouts, and then this morning it came back online for like half an hour because I was on it right before the market opened, and now it looks like it's down again. So unfortunate. Do I have Discord link on YouTube? I can give it to you real quick. Hang on one second. I don't know if, I think I do, but I don't know. I don't remember. So let me just shoot it to you real quick. There's the Discord link right there in the chat, Isaiah. When did you start trading? About 4 years ago. Apex is back now. Nice. There we go. Let's see. Pros and cons of Apex. Pros, you can have up to 20 funded accounts at a time, which means you can take some pretty large payouts. Other pros, you can pass in a day. So you can just open a trade right now, and if you hit the profit target, you pass. Cons are there are some rules that you need to make sure you're familiar with. You can't, for your funded account, you can't trade more than half of your max contracts. So with a 50K account, the max contracts you're allowed to trade are 10. But before you reach your buffer, you can only trade half of that max, which is 5. 5 minis for a 50K account is massive. So there's really no reason to even come close to that. But if you do, it's not going to give you a hard fault. It's just going to deny your payout when you get to the time of a payout. So that's definitely a con. But just don't be stupid and trade 5 or more minis on a funded account before you even have $2,600 in draw or profits. What you can do is go to their facts page. This is what I do before I ever trade a firm. What I do is go to their facts page where all their rules are, copy the entire page, go to ChatGPT and tell it to highlight tell it to bullet point the rules, so I don't have to read through all the minutia. I just tell it to give me the bullet points of the rules that I need to know about. So that's what everybody should do before they trade a firm or get involved with a firm. They should be familiar with the rules of the firm. Because you hear all kinds of people talk crap about Apex, and it's like, dude, you didn't read one single rule before you started trading it. What are some other cons? Trailing drawdown is a con for some people. Intraday trailing drawdown. So that means like if you go up 1,000 during the session, then you lose 500. That 500 goes against your drawdown. It's drawdown from your max profit level. So if you're at 2,000 and you lose 1,000, you're negative 1,000 in your drawdown, and that can hang some people up. It's the worst rule ever. Yeah, it's not the best. You sitting in trades for like an hour and get a lot of drawdown. Yeah, that's why my trades are pretty short, so it doesn't affect me. I haven't really had much issue with it. I just take my profits, get out, and keep re-entering. Not catching full moves because I'm scared. Yeah, that is an issue, Randall. I struggled with that before. But that's why I limit myself to 2 trades a day. So I feel like that helps me to prevent that over trading. Love them, Adam. Love them. Waiting for FOMC? Not necessarily. I don't trade FOMC really. I mean, I don't trade these big news events. I'm consistent enough where on regular days I make enough money where I don't feel the need to try to, hit some home run, catch an FOMC or any of the other news days just right where I'm in a bunch of profit. I'm fine with just consistent base hits on a daily basis. You meant after? Maybe. Maybe if I don't take a trade in this AM session, then maybe I'll keep an eye on it. But I'm not necessarily going to be sitting here with the idea that I'm going to find something that I like. Where's the Patagonia today? It's in the closet, man. I have 4 accounts. I thought you were done. You just said you were done. You said you were done for the week, Reaper. We need to check you into Traders Anonymous, man. Just tap that 4-hour version. Got to pull back off of it. There's still orders stacked up here to 66.95, so I think this still goes higher here. I think we push through this. Bookmap saying higher. Bookmap is saying higher. Yeah, buy 20 more, Reaper. And here, Reaper, do this. Buy 20 accounts, full port 10 of them in one direction and 10 of them in the other direction. You did that at 9:30? Why do I believe you? Saw someone in the Discord make 77 trades in a day. My jaw dropped. Now, Robbie, I can tell you what that might be. That very well they could have taken 77 trades in a day, but I can also tell you what that could mean. Yesterday, my TradeZella said that I took 40 trades, maybe even close to 50. No, it was 50 trades, and I can tell you why it said that. Because it counted each individual account that I have as taking one trade rather than just one individual trade. It counted each account making a trade as an individual trade. So the 25 accounts that I was trading yesterday, it counted it as 50 trades total. So that can be a little misleading sometimes when you see that on somebody's chart. But if it was just one account taking that many trades, that's absolutely wild. Have you started the trade? Sorry, very new here. We haven't seen something that we're interested in getting involved with yet. I like to just be very patient and wait for a setup that I just am pretty much in love with before I'll get involved. I haven't seen that yet. I really hope someone did not trade 7 trades. Yeah, that would be ridiculous. You want him to hedge? Just record it if you do it. I want to see it. You will get banned. You only watch ES? No, I'm watching NQ as well. I have another chart pulled up here where I can see both. But what you guys see here, we are pushing pretty hard on ES. Liquidity kind of runs out on ES or NQ up at 24,905. So it'd be interesting to see if we get more injection at that level. Right about, really close to where we are. It'll be interesting to see if we get more injection or if or what. We'll see. Do I trade PM session on TikTok too? Not necessarily. I don't, because I have class in the afternoons. Like today I have class at 3:30 and I could trade before that, but usually what I'm doing before class is studying, because most of the time I'll have a quiz or something going on. I have Japanese every day at 3:30. So, and it's a very difficult class. So typically I'm studying, reviewing, going over whatever. I also like to look ahead to see what lesson she's going to teach for the day. So if I get called on or something, that I'm not sitting there, you know, looking stupid. Why school trading can get you rich? Absolutely, I agree with you. But I set out on this journey, man, and I like to finish what I start. So I want to get my degree. I went from a high school dropout, man, to basically being homeless, drug addict, to now being in a very elite institution. And I feel like it's just a part of a pretty cool story that God has put together. So I want to finish what I started. You said Japanese. Yeah, Japanese, man. Japanese, Nihongo. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Melania. Yep. You want to say a few words in Japanese? Watashi wa Nihongo benkyou shimasu. Shushin wa Toshokan de Nihongo o benkyou shimasu. Went to the library last weekend to study Japanese. That's what I just said. Bro's rapping for us in Japanese. Just Googled it. Yeah, NVIDIA earnings will be aftermarket. Appreciate that, Milan. Appreciate that, man. Bookmap is still lit up to the upside on NQ, but it's looking more to the downside on ES. So we'll see. ES is lit up down. It could be a retest is what we're looking at here on ES, but it's lit up to 66.87. So 66.87 would be a pullback to this level right in here. Can you say 3,333? Yeah, dude, I can, but it's I mean 3 is san in Japanese. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, nana, or shichi, whatever, depending on if you're talking about time or numbers. Hachi, kyu, ju, ichi, juichi, juni, jusan, juyon. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ju, yeah, Ju is 10. Or it's the beginning of teen, so Juichi would be 11. Arigato. Arigato gozaimasu, Randall. It's spelled J-U-U, though. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Benihana. Dre would probably just be Dre, man, and it would be with an Asian accent. That's how Christian is. It's like Christian. Kawasaki gozaimasu. Why Japanese? Just it interests me, man. I love their culture. I like their people, and I wanted initially intended to apply to law school after undergrad, and I wanted something on my resume that was going to stand out, that was different than just the usual, Spanish or French or whatever people normally take. And to graduate at UNC, you're required to have 3 levels of language. Yeah, so 101, 102, 201, or whatever it is, 205, whatever. I'm in 101 right now. I got 102 next semester. Would you live in Japan? Maybe briefly. I wouldn't want to live there permanently. Uh, I would live in Japan if I was making American money. Their economy is not that great right now. Chapel Hill. You're in Charlotte. There you go, Swiss. Yeah, Chapel Hill. UNC Chapel Hill. I think you might get a pullback here, Marlon, to the 6688 level ish, but maybe not. There are orders lit up down to that level, so you could get pulled back. You could get a pullback to there. Cooked, if I want to go to med school, I really need to get a good MCAT score to, if I want a chance, yeah. I mean, law school is the same. You need a really high LSAT score to be competitive. You were up 1.3K and blew your count. Sebastian, why did you keep trading, man? Why didn't you just call it a day? ¿Dónde estás, Leliche? I don't know Spanish. Talk. I will learn that eventually. Where's the milk? The buffalo milk. You need the buffalo milk. Somebody, yeah, that's what he said, Randall. Where's the milk? Made 1.1 on that move. Was up 15K on a full funded and blew it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's frustrating, dude. I'm a little frustrated. Not frustrated, but I need Apex to get their or Cloudflare to get their stuff together so the Apex will work, because all the withdrawals that I took are still the account balance is still there, and I don't like that. I like it to pull the account balance out of my thing, so I don't know. For me, that's just a little unnerving. Hi, brother. How's it going? What's up, man? How's it moving like this? Did any news happen? No, we're just making up. I mean, we've been dumping for a while, so it's probably just rebalancing this move a bit. Could touch into this 4 hour and reject pretty hard, but we'll see. Did they say if it was a DOS or a solar flare? I have no idea. It seems like whenever these sorts of things have been happening recently, like the one that happened with the Amazon servers, they're pretty hush-hush about it, which leads me to believe that it's probably either a DDoS attack or something of that sort. C-bum of trading. Appreciate that, Francisco. What I do in this situation, take your hands, put them underneath your butt, right there, and stay just like that. That's what I would do. That's what I would do in this situation. Wait for a reversal. That's the best thing you do. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being dead serious. That's the best thing you can do right now. Unless you got in down here, I would not try to get into this. If you get a retrace let's say you get a retrace of maybe into this 15, that's the only thing I would get interested in. But even then, I wouldn't. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that I'm going to get involved in. We're touching into this 4 hour on NQ. ES has a little way to go before it hits the same 4 hour gap. Maybe take Asia high and then reverse. That's kind of what I would be eyeballing. Yeah, I'm not familiar with how that works, Randall, in terms of DDoS attacks or any. I'm very uneducated when it comes to a lot of the cybersecurity stuff. I have a brother who's in that field. He could probably explain it to me, but I'm unfamiliar with it. So I know what a DDoS attack is. It's basically just overloading the servers with so much what looks like volume that other people can't get in there. That's kind of my understanding of it. But that's basically the extent of my knowledge. What's up, Christian? Any major news today? And what's the bias? The major news today is FOMC at 2 o'clock. Pretty major news event. And you also have NVIDIA earnings. That doesn't happen until after hours. So those two events would potentially cause price to look pretty volatile today. Got some action down at 66.85 now on ES, which would be down in this level here. You could get a pullback to there. We'll see if that creates momentum or if it's just a retest to go higher. A lot of volume coming in there now. All the way from 66.86 right here, all the way down to 66.82. You got a pretty large amount of orders that just popped into the market there. Is Randall on the tube? Yeah, he's on the tube. He's over there on the tube. Yeah, Tristan. Not something I'd want to. I mean, anybody would see this and be like, dude, you didn't make any money today. I just didn't see. This isn't in my wheelhouse right here. It's not my ideal situation. I mean, you could have blind long off the open, but you had manipulation pretty aggressively at the open. You know, dumped what? Not too bad, but still manipulation and then distribution. You could make the argument for an AMD there, but not interested. Looks like a meme coin, yeah. Yeah, it's basically that a server overload, which just lags everything out, crashes system. Yeah, that's basically my understanding of it. So I guess wherever I learned that was right. I don't know why I like using TikTok more. Better than the tube, Dre. I wish I could get the same layout here on the talk as I do on the tube so that I could have the book map. I think they're basically building in the price. Is that what you're saying, Chris? Do I think they're buying in now to build in for a crash at FOMC? We'll see. Appreciate that, CJ. Appreciate you, man. Christov, that's a good theory. I don't necessarily object to that theory. I think it's a good theory. Pricing in the news is what that would be called. But we'll see. How long you been trading, brother? 4 years. I like the tube so I don't accidentally start doom scrolling and be more focused on charts. It does tend to happen. Please? Only if you say please. I'll show the 4 hour if you say please. Missed the long, but I'm still looking for shorts. Yesterday I missed the short, but caught a long. There you go. Yeah, the longs yesterday were the move. I mean, that short was nice too, pre-market, or I mean, beginning of the session, AM. But these longs were, I think that was just that was a clean setup right here. Please, on his behalf. Show you the 4 hour. That's ES, and this is NQ. Yeah, I don't necessarily advocate. I think I made a video on this a while back. I don't advocate for switching up strategies really. I mean, if you've back tested a strategy and it has pretty solid win rate and you know that it works and you can spot it pretty easily, your eyes tend to be gravitated towards seeing that on the charts when it does appear. I don't necessarily advocate for switching things up. Just got to be patient. Sometimes things come in cycles too. You know, there's weeks where the unicorn setup doesn't happen at all, or any variation of that type of setup. But when it does happen, you got to capitalize. Why don't you mark the 15-minute range and take a trade on breakout? That's the 15-minute orb strategy. I'm not necessarily into that. I've back tested it, and I back tested it for like a decade worth of data, and it's not necessarily a trade setup that I would want to rely on. This, I mean, telling you that setup that we got yesterday right here, this setup, this is my bread and butter right here. We got it on NQ right here. This is what you want. This is what I want. If I could get this on a daily basis, I would be a very, very wealthy person. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily, there's plenty of people that trade that 15-minute orb strategy, Randall. There's plenty, I follow plenty of people that trade those strategies. I follow people that trade all kinds of different strategies. I have people that don't, you know, that absolutely trash ICT stuff, and they have their own way of trading and it works for them. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not gonna sit here and like trash strategies or say that something's better or worse. I just speak for me personally, and there's a system that I've developed here on what I see on the charts and what I use as confluences that helps me to trade effectively and to make money. And there's other things for other people. Like there's a guy, Rips. I don't know if, I'm sure some of you guys have seen him. I think he actually won, his group won the Tradeify Cup. But I've been watching him for a while. He's who got me into Bookmap like a year ago. And he trades strictly order flow momentum. He trashes ICT. He makes fun of it, all of that. Fine, doesn't bother me. I trade ICT setups in conjunction with what he trades, which is order flow momentum. And I think it's for anybody trading, what it really boils down to is your risk management and your discipline. You can find a strategy that works and be effective, even if it's 80% of the time. But if you don't have risk management and proper discipline, you're not going to be successful. And on the other hand, you could find a strategy that works 50-30% of the time. But if you have good risk management, good RR, good discipline, you're going to be very successful. That's just how it is. So I don't ever fall into the camp like a lot of people in this space where they trash certain strategies or feel the need to like have a rivalry with a ICT and all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I think we're all capable of making money if we can get a grip on the psychological discipline that it takes. Now you need to know the fundamentals and the basics, obviously, but 90% of this stuff is mental. What did Yogi Berra say? 90% of baseball is half mental, or 90% of baseball is. He said something like the other half is mental or something like that. He said something silly like that. 90% of baseball is skill, the other half is mental, something like that. I didn't take a trade atomic. The one from yesterday? Yeah. There was a London low right here. They got swept. So London low got swept. You get that strong V-shaped recovery. Breaker on the 4-minute. You can see that right here. 5-minute fair value gap presented right here. You can see that in there. Retest. You got one retest here. That was the trade that I took. And I closed like up here. But then you got another retest here. And you got a 311-point move. So what's your trade strategy? I just showed it. This is what I like right here. This is it. This is my bread and butter. What is a breaker? Low, high, lower low, higher high. Breaker. It's basically this, and what it means is this is now, you can look at it as an established level of support, and then it's an even stronger level of support when you get a gap inside of it like this. So, and as you see, that's what happens. This is exactly what you look for. You got to touch into it and an immediate strong rejection out of it, blast it out of it. Trump is tweeting right now, so be careful here. What's he saying? Nothing. Let me close these blinds real quick. Class today? Yeah, I have class. 11:15. Bro, I swear I'm watching T-Trades playlist and it's game changing. Yeah, dude, I love T-Trades. Could you show the fair value gap indicator? Yeah. That's it. We're lit up pretty strong to the downside here now to 66.80 on ES. So we touched into this 4-hour right here. Barely touched Asia right there. I wouldn't be comfortable with this until we get a cleaner sweep of Asia. I think at 77.10 would be the level I would want to look for. This line right here would be the level I want to see price go to and then look for a turnaround. But it could dump from right here. We'll see. I really would rather see us take this level and then turn around because there's still liquidity on the chart up there. But this could be the point for the reversal that people have been waiting for. A lot of sell side here. A lot of sell side. I'm not comfortable with that sweep though. I want to see a candle close above that level. This is lit up to the downside hard now. Lit up hard to the downside here. I'll show you the book map, hang on. I want to see us close above this Asia high, dig a little deeper into this gap to this line, and then come down. Because we didn't get a full sweep of this Asia. What's up, Paul? How's it going? Have not taken a trade yet. Yeah, I'd want to see a candle close above Asia. I got to pee so bad right now. I want to watch this though. Nathaniel, that's what we would ideally, this setup, that's what it's starting to, that's what this setup is starting to happen. This setup is starting to transpire for a short, but I really, for me to be convinced here, I'd want to see a close here. We might not get it. 6680 is lit up heavy. Give me a push up here, create the breaker, and then we would short this, but we want that full setup before we get in. We did get the full sweep on NQ. I don't like this as a sweep here, so if this runs without me, I'm not going to be mad. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm not going to risk taking something that's not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm honestly about to wet myself right now, dude. I got to go so bad. Use your cup. You're wild. Yeah, dude, I got to go to the bathroom. I can't hold it. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. You guys know what we're looking for here. If you're looking to take this, I would not, you can do what you want, but me personally, I'm not going to get into this as a short until we get a more convincing sweep of this level. So I said, you guys know what I'm looking for here. If I would not jump into this until we get a more convincing sweep of this level. You do what you want, but I want to see a candle close above this first before I want to get involved. So I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick and I'll be right back. Connor, my bad for not calling you back, man. You know how it is. Absolutely dying over here. If you saw what my schedule looked like, man, absolutely getting reamed. I'm gonna be home pretty soon though, so we can get together if you want, or I can just call you back. Probably be easier, but either way. All right, we'll make it happen. What's the lowest time frame I use? Man, I really do like the 5 minute. I mean, you can find, like yesterday you had the breaker on the 4. You can use the lower time frames, but again, I'm still not interested in this level yet or I'm not interested in this trade yet until we get this level. We might not get it, and I'll just watch the trade run without me. I'm fine with that. But I would rather that. I'd rather miss the trade than to be sweating thinking the price is going to come back and really give us a more convincing sweep up there. So kind of see and I don't. Can you be profitable full porting 5 minis? What do you think? Is there a way to see if the resting orders are, yeah, on the right side? It usually says of the chart. So I think I don't know if you can see my mouse over there on the book map, but it's on the right side here. So you'll see that there's more sell orders right now than buy orders. But yeah, see here, I want to see this come up. I know you want to come up and take this level again. Really take it this time, and then we'll dump. Can you explain what a breaker is? Yeah, if it's a high, low, higher high, lower low, or a low, high, lower low, higher high. Apex is still having issues because of Cloudflare, or Flare, Cloudflare. Shorts if we can get some high time frame confirmation. My high time frame confirmation would be a sweep of this Asia high tapped into this 4-hour high time frame PD array here. Rejection out of it, which we are already seeing, but I want to see a clear sweep of this level. So you got this 4-hour gap that we tapped into and rejected right out of it. NQ swept Asia already. We have these 15-minute gaps that we're shorting down into. That's holding price up right now. I want to see this level get taken. I really do. I have to see that level get taken before I'll get in a short. Otherwise, it'll just run without us. Do you take tests? Yeah. No, to me, that's not a convincing sweep. You didn't get even a 1-minute candle close above it. You got to tap there. You got a clean sweep on NQ of Asia, but not on ES. So just for me personally, I mean, some people say that's a sweep because it tagged it. For me personally, I want to see a candle close above it, at least a 1-minute candle close above it. Me and Christian not taking a trade until to you that's sweet. Hey, get in, hop in a short then, man. And it very well could work out. I've been burned enough times where you don't get a full sweep of a level like that, and then it just comes right back to, I would have my stop above that right here. So if price then comes back, then I'm stopped out. Already took your longs? Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying this isn't going to fully dump right here. I'm just saying for me to be comfortable in a trade, that's what I'd want to see. I got freaking, we're going to get this set up, right? Why does this keep happening right now? I got to go to class. We get this set up. Wait an hour and a half and then just do a quick scalp. Do it, man. Let me know how it works. Skip once wouldn't hurt. I can't. It's hard, man. I definitely would like to, but I can't. It's a bad habit. You got to stick to your rules. Discipline. A little more volume picking up here. 66.90. Very well could, Lucas. Yeah, very well could. Like I said, I'm fine with watching it run away. I mean, I know that what we're seeing here is a short setup, but you know, again, everybody has their preferences. Everybody has their trading styles. My trading style would not feel comfortable taking this trade until we get a more convincing closure above that level. Juice fake out may still happen. Yeah, could. Did I take a trade today? Well, hey, I'll tell you what, man. I read that comment last night right before I was about to go to sleep. It made me smile. Appreciate that. No, I hadn't taken a trade yet. Not yet. We're looking at this short, but I'd like to see a cleaner sweep of this Asia high before I'd get involved. And it very well could just dump right here, but like I said, it's not, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking it yet. How about NQ with confirmation closure? But well, the reason that I'm not just solely going off of that, man, is because you got ES that typically leads here. So if we go back up on ES, then NQ is probably going to follow too. It's going to go up a little higher as well. So we'll see. Just stay patient. I'll check you out. Yeah, I'll check you out. Jannar, is that how you say your name? Jannar? Nice. Yeah, I'll give you a look. I'll give it a look. Would you still recommend Top Step? I don't know, man. Do you offer any mentorship calls? Not at the moment. No, not at the moment. YouTube stream has very little delay. Love it. There you go. I'm glad to hear that. Why not Top Step? I think they've been, for me personally, I don't want to be stuck trading on their platform. I'd rather have access to trading, to be able to connect my account to TradingView. But, you know, overall, they, you know, I think their rules and stuff are pretty good. It's just, that's the main reason. And they, I don't know. There were some customer support issues that some of my buddies had not that long ago with them. I didn't really like the way they handled it. So for me personally, I just wouldn't want to mess with it. Kai, if you're having good luck on there, man, I wouldn't switch it up. I mean, if you're taking consistent payouts, there's no reason. Find whatever firm has the best rules for you. Stick with it. I don't necessarily believe in bouncing around. Yeah. Mom just sent me the correct Yogi Berra quote. She's a huge baseball fan. Baseball is 90% mental, the other half is physical. That's trading. 90% mental, the other half is chart analysis. I'll show you what we're seeing on the book map here, just so you guys are in the loop. This is ES. So still don't want to short. I'm waiting, man. Like I said, I'll watch it run without me if it doesn't take more of this up here. This is the 5 minute. What would be your TP on short right now? Probably the swing low here. I think this is getting ready to dump. It's getting ready to break loose. Well, my stop loss would have to be above this wick high. That's why my entry would have had to been better than what we're getting right here. I would want it above that swing high. And that, if you were entering at this point, that's a pretty long stop on ES. 22 points on ES. Entered short at 66.89. I mean, the book map looks like it's about to just, at least to this 77 level. There's more orders coming in lower too. So, I mean, this really could, the bottom could be getting ready to fall out on this. Yeah, I saw the 15. You tapping into that. Stay patient. Done for the day. There you go. There's a pullback. Man, I gotta go to class soon. This sucks. Right as this is taking place. I'm in short TP London lows. I think that's a good level. I hope it dumps, man. I hope it dumps for you. Obviously, I'd like a retest of this level so that I could be comfortable taking this. But if I don't get the chance, I hope it does dump for you guys that are in this. NQ's right here. We look at it too. Major 500 on 5 counts. I'm out. Have a great day, man. Appreciate you being here. Glad you're green. One thing about RSI, you can use it as a good confluence. There's no one indicator that I rely on solely. I mean, if I was to have to only rely on one sole indicator, it would be book map, if you're considering that an indicator. If I could just remove everything else from the chart and only rely on one thing, I would strictly use book map. I think this is getting ready to dump. Exactly, Tristan. I'm not. That's why I'm not in it, man. I'm gonna put my shoes on real quick. I gotta go soon. It's frustrating having to watch that. Entry short on NQ. What y'all think? Depends on your entry. I think it's a good trade, though. I think we are short here. Are there still orders above? Hardly. Hardly anything above here. You think Trump speak bullish or bearish? I have no idea, man. There's no telling. How old are you? 32. I got to run, guys. I got 10 minutes to get to class here. I hate that I have to go, but if you're short in this, I think you're taking a good trade here, but we'll see. Didn't get the retest that I was looking for, but I got to run. I hate that I have to do that, but priorities. You guys have a good day. If you're short, good luck to you. If you're green on the day, good job. But you guys have a good one. I got to roll. Appreciate you, Robbie. Appreciate you, Hugo. Everybody, appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate the engagement. Appreciate the follows and the gifts and everything. You guys have a great day. We'll see you.